Jesus Christ. Oh. Ah. I almost failed getting here. So let's talk about failure. Let's talk. You can do anything. All you gotta do is put your mind to it. Hello creators, first and foremost, thank you so much for tuning into the video. I want to talk to you about one thing that has been just absolutely driving a lot of people insane, and that is failing in your product. It is super easy to really get demotivated when a project that you have ends up being a failure. Now, what do I mean by being a failure? Frankly, it's subjective. People can identify failure in many ways, and in all reality, I believe, in my honest opinion, that failure in content creation is super important to experience. But not only experience, but embrace. And the reason why is because failure in itself doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I've done this for an exorbitant amount of time. I've done content creation for close to 8 to 9 years. I've been doing so many different things and failing on so many different levels. To this day, I very much fail on a couple of projects I have. Whether it's a project that I want to do, for example, top 5 horror videos. I started that one, super hyped about it, did a bunch of videos about it. And then the passion kind of went away because I found that I was searching for more content or original source content that I couldn't find because everyone else and their brother decided to actually cover it. There are days where I did Diablo 4 content. As a matter of fact, Diablo 4 got me YouTube partnership, and I'm super grateful for that. However, I started finding myself not enjoying the product as much anymore because I just wasn't an individual to play the game long enough to be able to be someone to provide feedback or teach others on builds or just tell them how to kill a certain boss when I just can't do it myself. Regardless of that, failure can come in many ways. I've experienced it a lot. However, every single time I have failed in a project since I've started my YouTube, since I've gone to Twitch, since I've created other YouTubes, since I've created Patreon and have closed Patreon and have stopped uploading on other YouTube channels and has limited my time on Twitch. There's so many times in my journey that I have failed. However, in every single one of those moments, I have learned something new from every single failure. And the reason why is because with every single project you take on, you learn something new. Whether it's an editing skill, whether it's a lighting skill, whether it's a way of talking on the microphone or actually acting in front of the camera, regardless of the situation, you will learn something from a failure. But the thing that always kills me is some people just identify if they fail at one thing, then that's it. That is when you need to understand to have patience in you. And patience is a totally other subject that I'm going to be getting into because I find a lot of people in today's world just don't have that at all. But being able to embrace failure has been honestly one of the most eye-opening things I've ever taught myself. Because just because I fail at one project doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to fail at all of them. What I will do is I'll fail from this one project. Oh, I learned this from it. Let's apply that to our next. Oh, I learned this on top of this project. Let's apply those things to the next. Regardless of that, you're growing your skills. And specifically in a streaming world where you have to be a multi-skilled individual, from lighting to cameras to technical to soundboards to digital media to social media manager to community manager. There is a lot of things you have to do as a streamer or content developer alone that you have to promote your product. And you have to become multidisciplinary in every single one of those fields. And sometimes failure will allow you to embrace and get better at a certain field, specifically in this content journey. So I know for many it is extremely difficult to embrace the concept of failure. You won't find what you are best suited to create unless you actually fail at projects. It is a ridiculous sentence to hear, but it is very true. Just because you fail at one thing doesn't mean that is your product come to an end. No. Embrace the concept that this didn't work for you, that it didn't meet your requirements, that it didn't meet what you wanted to try to do, and let's move on to the next. Let's write things down for what I want to achieve with the channel or brand that I have and go from there. There are many ways that you can overcome failure in a content development world. All you have to do is understand that when a failure does happen, breathe, take a day for yourself, write concepts down, and start building your way to another project. Because in content worlds, the benefit about it is that your brain is always working. But you need to understand that if you need to take a day for yourself because the concept of failing something is just too much for you, then take a day for yourself. There are so many people out there that many times will fail at something and immediately right away have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to do this. I got 360 maneuver in here. You got to take the opportunity to also give yourself a little bit of a break. If you are overwhelmed at the thought of this one thing that you thought was going to do so well completely failed, then take your time. Take your time away from the product. Take your time away from social media if you want. I will talk about that in another video because that is super important. I've done it before where I took a hiatus of a month from social media, and that was the best thing I ever did. There is a lot of times where what I say is much easier said than done, but I need you to understand I've been through that experience, and I continue to go through that experience on a day-by-day basis. I cannot begin to explain to you how many times this channel has changed niches, has changed focuses. I can't begin to tell you how many times I've gotten comments saying, oh, this channel changes niches every month. It's true. I have failed on multiple occasions because I've tried to create something that I feel will work. But when it doesn't work or doesn't meet my expectations, it puts me down, and then I look at the product in a different manner. This niche that I'm working on right now is a little bit different because I've always loved and had that compassion and go-to for helping somebody else. And I actually like seeing people succeed. I tried doing the self-help a little while ago. I didn't feel like it was for me. And then I started doing some additional projects. And again, it was the same thing where I just didn't feel connected to it. And that eventually brought me back to where I am today. So there's obviously something in this that for me, I really enjoy helping others and seeing people succeed, which is something a lot of people don't like seeing. But when you see someone succeed, you know that person's put in the work or they may have gotten lucky. But in the end, sometimes you'll see individuals who have succeeded so much because they also failed along the way so many times. Because eventually, when you want to succeed, when you get that opportunity to showcase what you're truly skilled at and what the world wants you to make, you won't get there unless you start filtering out the things that you wanted to do, but then just didn't work out for your favor until everything came together. Embrace failure, because sometimes that will lead you to what you're truly meant to make. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, by the way, have you ever failed at a project? And let us know, how did you feel afterwards about it? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the comments in the first video that we came back with this. I really do appreciate it. Please get those comments in. I'm going to share a couple of them in here, and here. I appreciate every single one of you for being here, for supporting and understanding that my failures lead to this as well. And I want to actually help you as well. So if you have any questions, please do me a favor and ask them in the comment section. I will try to answer some of those as well. Much love to every single one of you. From me to you, make sure to heal, please heal, and let's talk.